zone seminar. Today, we start at 9, we have an introduction, we're going to start a lecture, and I never follow the schedule, so it's probably going to be more like 11, 11:30. We'll start our practical course, lunch. Lunch will be a quick lunch, and then we'll have more practical, and about 3:30 we'll have Q&A, and at 4 o'clock we'll have a little table for about half an hour. Tomorrow we'll start a little earlier at 8:30. Okay. Then we'll go directly into the practical with 2 different courts, and Q&A, little table will end at noon. Okay. I'm called the facilitator, okay? And I always say it's all part of that. I'm the instructor, like I say, support sensei, I think that's sensei, I sensei. Okay, regional instructors, if you have a sensei, I'm a sensei, I'm a sensei, I'm a sensei. Without prejudice. Okay? So that's basically the whole said something that kind of rang clear. He said, you have to be like water. You can't have water become stagnant. Meaning your own self, your kendo, don't let it become stagnant. Always study, always improve your own kendo. As a Shimpan, if you see some type of waza or somebody doing jodan, if you yourself haven't tried it or haven't gone against somebody that's done jodan, or you see some kind of waza, kaishi waza or something, but if you yourself don't practice it, you won't understand the hit. Okay? So you need to practice all these different things. So as you advance in rank, as you take your test, you have a better understanding. That's why as you advance, the examiners look to see what kind of waza you use and so forth. So your kendo always has to be changing. You can't just do the same kendo. Maybe you think, oh, I can win with this kendo. So this is the only kendo I do because I win. That's the wrong philosophy. Philosophy is you need to practice different methods, different wazas, different things to fully understand how to be a Shimpan. Okay? As a Shimpan, you have a certain quality. You're in an elite position. So it's a huge responsibility. Okay? Take the lead by understanding, by studying and understanding, and have the skills. Don't let the rank go to your head. Like, oh, I got Godan now. I'm good. Can't think that. I'm sure all of you understand that. And draw on your past experience. If you understand the word keiko in Japanese, the way it's written, it's, you know, you think you do something and you learn from the past. So even refereeing, understand what you're doing while refereeing. mistakes, but don't ever make the same mistake twice. Try not to. And again, it's about the shiaisha, not the shimpan. You're also, as shimpans, you're also teachers and leaders out there. So if you need, especially with children or beginners, if you need to make corrections, make the corrections, help them, tell them this is where they need to stand, this is what they need to do, this is how to lay. Okay? So sometimes you have to take the time to do that. Kaka Sensei in 2010 in his FIK seminar touched on a couple of things that I thought were important. The shiaisha are giving their all. They train hard to meet that day. So as a shimpan, if you make a mistake, take away that long training in an instant. So you yourself train just as hard as the shiaisha. And by doing so, then you will give it your all that day as well. Okay? So get to sleep early, get a good rest. Know, especially if it's a big tournament the next day, know that you're going to be shimpan. Know that you have to be at your top form as well. Judge with confidence. Have confidence. Today we're going to make a lot of mistakes. Tomorrow we're going to make a lot of mistakes. It's okay to make the mistakes. If we tell you you made a mistake, think of it, okay, Sensei told me this, that's learning. Don't think of it as embarrassment or anything else. I still make mistakes when I go out there. Okay? So, be confident in your judgment. Be healthy. If you have an injury or something and you can't walk that fast, perhaps, especially if it's a big tournament, you may have to sit out. Because if you're not performing again at your fullest, then you're not giving the shiaisha a fair chance. Have dignity and confidence. If you show your confidence, if you stand there very straight, dignified, then everybody will think, oh, that sensei looks like he knows what he's doing. Okay? Maybe inside you. But if you stand there like, shake your head and this, and you don't have confidence, and that shows to the shiaisha, it shows to the other people that maybe that referee does not have the confidence. So, handle a lot of pride, manner, how you dress, so forth, things like that. Even how you sit, you have to sit in a proper way while you're waiting. So you have to show that dignity as a sensei shimpan. Shimpanki, your flags. Everybody knows what they should get their shinai, they should throw them down. Same way with shimpanki. Shimpanki is the referee's shinai. Okay? It's your even as your keep it clean. I didn't do it yet, but what I do is I'll take this and I'll bleach it. Okay? So little things like that. If you're getting too dirty, then you might want to replace your flags. Okay? Also, when handling your flags, don't walk around like this. Don't stick move on to the court, when you roll up your flags. These are all small details that as time goes on, we're going to correct you, but you need to start paying attention to those small details because those small details become important. If everybody is in unison, if everybody works together as Shimpan, then everybody will understand that those Shimpan know what they're doing and they're doing a good job. And small details are very important. Yeah, uniform, how to wait, how sensors wait. I have a tendency to sit on the edge of my chair because it keeps me awake. And usually, Shimpan's will hold the flag like this. Okay? Many times you'll see this, and then they'll start to see this. Okay? This is not good posture to be a referee. Okay? So, if you watch all the men get up or something, watch all the men get up champions or something, look at the referees while they're waiting to see how they sit. You should sit in the same manner. Walk with pride and dignity when you're changing positions. As you move from one position to another, when you walk like this, when you walk like this, it makes a difference. Okay? So have a little pride and dignity. If you look at the Hachidan senseis, anyone that walking down the street has this pride and dignity about them as they walk down the street. So in their everyday lives, they practice kendo. Be aware of what other Shimpan are doing and try to coordinate with them, especially the Shushin, the head. He's the one you kind of follow, he or she is the one you kind of follow. And how you treat your Shimpan keys. When holding the Shimpan key, when you're moving, changing positions, you don't hold it like this, you hold it like this on the handles. Okay? Keep one finger here to keep the flags rolled up. When you unfurl the flags, don't go like this. When you furl them up, don't go like this. Okay? You roll them up, unfurl them, you sort of pull it out like this and you go like this. And then put it in your right or left hand. I always double check myself when I put it in another position. I'm Shushin with my red flag in my right hand. I'm Shushin or sub-judge with my white flag in my right hand. So you might do a little self-check. These things have a little tie on them. Some of them do, some of them don't. Make sure that tie is tied. Because the worst thing that can happen is you go like this and that flag is shooting off the stick. So make sure it's tied. When rolling your flags, you should know this, you roll the white one a little bit, then you roll the red one. Some flags are actually made with the white one slightly smaller than the red one. Okay. But you roll it, try not to have any white showing.
You guys think when you're like just rotating around the court, you don't roll up the flags?
No, and we'll show you when we demonstrate later. Your voice, kiai as a shimpan. If I start the judging by just going, hajime, how are the two people in shiai, how are they going to react? But if you start the shiai with, hajime, then your two shiai will have that same energy. So you're transferring your energy to them. So your kiai should be just as loud as theirs, not more. Most importantly, yamen. When you yamen, want them to stop, especially if it's an emergency situation. Okay? If you just say yamen, they're not going to hear you, they're not going to react. But if you say yamen, then they will react. Can the fukushin say yamen? Yes. In particular, mainly if it's a emergency situation. Shinai gets stuck, the Shishin can't see that, so Fukushin can say yamen. If somebody goes out of bounds, the Shishin doesn't see it, don't just signal. First say yamen, and then signal. Then the Shishin will say, okay, yamen, he'll say yamen. He or she will say yamen, and then they will also know the problem when you shoot signal. If there's something going on, somebody's door comes inside, and she say yamen, then the Shishin will say yamen, then they'll look at you like, what's going on? And then you say gogi, or indicate that, or that person is going to die, something like that. But those circumstances, she can say yamen verbally. Don't just raise your flag. Say yamen. The other reason is that when you as she say yamen, the timekeeper will stop the watch, stop the clock. But if you don't say yamen, you don't verbally say yamen, and you wait for the shishin to say yamen, that person is not going to stop the clock. Okay, that's wasting time. Wakare will talk about wakare when to use wakare, how much time you use it, we'll go into detail with gogi. You call gogi. You go to the center, you have a discussion. Too many times that discussion just sort of goes on. The discussion is like, well, what do you think of that? That concept. The other person says, I don't know, maybe it was good. And then they ask, yeah, I agree with yours. That wasn't that good. And then this team will go, maybe what should we do about it? That is not the discussion you have in Gogi. The discussion you have in Gogi is, was it good? Was it bad? Yes or no? Was it good? Was it bad? Yes or no? I think it was good. That's it. Okay. Make the decision. That's the purpose of Gogi. Okay? If it goes beyond that, it's too long. Shimpan don't know what they're doing. That's what people think. Okay? So Gogi is very brief and short. You have to talk to the court judge. He's been shown it. When somebody goes out of bounds or something happens, or you need to call Hansen, you need to go out of bounds. Again, as I said before, call your man first, then signal the out of bounds. responsibility as far as on the court. Where are you supposed to stand? What area are you supposed to be aware of? The machine kind of takes a look when the two competitors enter, but it takes a look at overall movement. But the machine on the white side, the machine on the red side, they should look to see if the vision machine or Husky on see, if I'm machine, I can see the other machine out of the corner of my eye. If that machine steps back too far, I can't see them. So if they make a movement or if they signal, I won't be able to see them. So you should always make sure, for machines, you also always make sure that you can see the other machine in your line of sight. So they move this way, you move. Even if they move like that, train your timekeepers as well to get up in all times so that the referees can hear you. And it goes back to the fact of can the referees hear me? What if they fall down and the strike is hit? You're supposed to allow one breath before you say yamen. But many times you'll see a quick yamen even in FIK because it could be a dangerous situation. So somebody injures themselves, you don't want them to get more injured by trying to protect themselves and somebody attack them. Then it's okay, then it's valid. If the time and the strike are at the same moment, then it's valid. Okay? If it's a good strike.
I would see again, there's no
There's no such thing as a backwards or opposite goal. Either left goal or right goal. That's it. Okay? So try to refrain from just yakudo. And again, how do you judge Garido? Judge it the same way you do Ido. Goal is goal. Right? Because they have the same power. You don't have to do extra thinking about it. It's either good or not, that were Ido would be the same as a Garido. It's the same thing. Ikiwaza. In the old book, they say you have to judge Ikiwaza with special care. However, now the rule book states if Ikiwaza is done according to what is equal, then it is a valid point. You should judge it simply as that. You don't have to think anything wrong with it. There's a rule, if it meets the criteria of equal, it's a big one. If it's again right, it's a valid point. So you want a not special point to have to judge. Position of the two up, to the side, those kinds of things. What does he say? Just receive information. And one of the things that we do now is when we're telling the Shaisha your tsu's not on top, number one, you're supposed to not touch the blade of the sword. So you were supposed to hold the handlebar, the step part, and rotate it to show everybody that you're giving them a water that the tsu is not up. However, what he says if we see new information is that now, and we haven't confirmed this, we have to wait until probably early next year to confirm this. But now we're seeing to point at the tsu, now the Shaisha, the tsu is not corrected. So you don't touch anything. However, for children, you may still have to rotate the shin type of units. Again, no. The important thing is do not touch the blade of the shin. Oh, got it. How do you know when you are right? True. Are you guessing? There has to be a certain criteria there before you call for colors. One of them is skill, or two competitors you can do. How does it say here? So, to do wakare, not just to try to separate things. Wakare is you have to have what's called swakariyat. Okay, tsubazariyai is small tsubazariyai is tsuba to tsuba. Okay? So they have to have this tsuba to tsuba. That's proper tsubazariyai. So when calling wakare, you have to check to make sure they are proper tsubazariyai. If they are not a proper tsubazariyai, let's say one is over the other. This is not proper tsubazariyai. This is actually a hanzo. So you call your man, call a hanzo, because if this were a real sword, his hand would be cut. Number two is, one of the two is also trying to take it, trying to get underneath. Okay? Maybe if my sister says he's trying to push down, you have to determine what it is. So, if they're not in tsubazariyai, then something else is going on. That something else is improperness, unfairness. So you have to call your man, call Gogi, to make sure everybody agrees with me. Okay? Now this is a Shimpan can only go on this part. Okay? You can only say them in and determine if one of them is right to the other. But before Wakare, so Wakare, if they are in proper study, say Wakare, they have to move out to that one. If you say Wakare, one person doesn't move. Okay? Don't try to keep instructing them. Move back, move back, move back. Don't do that. Because what's going on? Time is running. Time is running. So if one doesn't understand or doesn't know what to do, call your men. Then tell them what they're supposed to do with Wakare. Come back to the center and start. So now they understand what they're supposed to do when you say Wakare. So again, this is a thing that actually should be done in your own dojo. That when the sensei, when the referee say Wakare, we're supposed to separate. Okay? So, how long do you wait? Again, you have proper tsubazeriai, and there's no movement at all. However, if they're in proper tsubazeriai, and one of they're still trying to move to try to create a waza, then let it go. Okay? But if there's a stalemate where you just stop, not doing anything, then go about it. Because you don't want them in that position of not doing anything for too long, or if you feel like you're not going to do it. Okay? The other thing is tsubazeriai, proper tsubazeriai, trying to hook on the other side, this is without, or laying it on the shoulder. If you do it for an instant, it's okay. But if they leave the shine there, or then you leave it on the opposite side, Yamen, Ogi, what did you see? What did you see? This is what I saw. How handsome will be. Okay? You have to look for these little different things. If one person slightly moves back and the other person quickly follows, Yamen, there's a handsome there. Okay? Look for that. One person's trying to get away and the other person won't let them. That's stalling. All will be determined if the others agree with you. Okay? Yes? Again, it depends. The question is you have to explain the hot topic to the players, and the answer is basically no. Because as players, they're supposed to know that. However, again, if it's children, beginners, something like that, you can't take the time to explain it. When you call Bogi, you do not have to, it doesn't have to end in concert. It can be a no decision. So when you come back to center, just start with Jamaica. Okay? But that's the reason why you call Bogi. Because as Shimpan, you call your man, you just can't see yourself signal concert. Call Bogi first, if you're ready to understand why you call Bogi. So the Bogi is important rules, but that's why you also use it quickly. Right. And tsubazeriai, Shimpan does not call on that. I have to look at the rule book again on that particular one. I think Shimpan has a responsibility to call on that. Now, after the match, something maybe you know what, usually you can call Bogi, you can know the situation, especially if Shimpan doesn't understand why you call it. In that instance, Just like 2 versus 1. So 1, 1, nothing. And it's nothing. However, it doesn't have to be unanimous. If it's 2 against 1, come back, it's a single signal. So it's no Hansen. It's 2 against 1, right? All Hansen, 1, 1, nothing, it's no Hansen. Okay, so be aware of delay tactics. There are many types of delay tactics. Out of bounds. Okay, so basic out of bounds is basic out of bounds is completely out of bounds. Now, if somebody's close to the line, should you be looking and making sure they're close to the line, they're out of bounds. The problem is you're missing everything else that's going on. Okay? The match should not really be determined by out of bounds. The match should be determined by what's going on with the shot. That's number 1. So make sure that, if they're close to the line, it's okay, but watch out what else is going on too. And then make sure that they really step out of bounds before you call it, man. So that's why if they're kind of close to the line, don't just immediately say, yeah, man, out of bounds. Make sure they're completely out of bounds before you say, amen. And one throw on the line is not out of bounds. You have to be aware of that. One of the important things is, what if a person is pushed out? Now, you get into a situation where there's a lot of pushing and struggling. Again, you get into a situation where you're really fighting like this, just call your man. Don't wait for that something to happen. Okay? Call your man, stop it, go back and start over. That's it. Okay? Don't base the judging on concept. Just call your man. If a person is pushed and one of the fellows and they go out, that's concept. But if the other person, he really